Hi everybody, how you doing? It's Mike bringing you our thought for the week, for the first week in August. Now, there's a good chance that you have heard me say something along these lines before, but in Genesis 1:27 it talks about how we are made in the image of God. The psalmist expands on it in Psalm 139. We are fearfully and wonderfully made in his image. He knits us together. We know that Jesus came to seek and save the lost. It tells us that in Luke 19:10. He came to seek and save you when you were lost. And of course, God so loved the world that he sent his only son into the world. It's an incredible truth that we find in the Bible about how valuable we are, about how valuable you are, that God saved his own image for you. You bear the image of God. It's a really important message. It's a really important truth. And I will quite happily keep repeating it over and over and over again, as long as people need to hear it forever, if I have to, because it's important. We need to understand that. But what's also important is we understand that as much as that is true of ourselves, and we need to take that on and we need to live like that, it is also true of every single other person that we meet. Every human being on the face of the earth bears the image of God. Every single person on the face of the earth is made in his image, knitted together like that. Every person on the face of the earth is worthy of the sacrifice of Jesus. The problem is that very often they don't get treated like that, do they? I think very often, instead of viewing everybody as being made in the image of God, as being this image bearer of God, we kind of look at ourselves and go, yeah, we're all human, but that's the lowest common denominator. So what we do instead is we put other things in its place, and that's how we view people, whether it's their situation, whether it's their past, whether it's their race, whether it's their nationality, and we kind of pigeonhole people based on this, and we view people based on that, and we treat them accordingly. That's why even in the year 2020, tragically, we still have to say things like Black Lives Matter. That's why wherever in the world, wherever there is trouble, when the image of God is suffering, when people are suffering, it should matter to us, no matter how far away it seems, no matter how much it seems like it isn't our problem, no matter how inconvenient it might be for our lives. They are image bearers of God, and they matter to God, and they should matter to us. I don't think we always do that. Jesus, who is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, he steps out of heaven and he spends his time on earth dismantling, destroying, disregarding all the things that are put in place that separate people, that make people others. He completely disregards them in his earthly ministry. Then he goes to the cross and dies for every single one of us. He also says this: whatever you do for the least of your brothers and sisters, the least of the people in the world, we do unto him. And what we don't do for them, we don't do for him. That is how important it is to Jesus that we view the rest of the world, everybody that is out there, in the same way that he views them, as made in the image of God, as worthy of his sacrifice, and that we care about them. So my thought for the week, this week, is kind of more of a challenge, to be honest. And the challenge is this: wherever you encounter somebody, whether that's face to face, whether that's on the phone, whether that is an article that you read about them on social media, before you do anything, before you react, before you respond, before you share or write a post about that person, whatever the headline says about them, whatever the situation is, just pause and remind yourself that that person bears the image of God, just like you. And then let your actions, let your thoughts, let your decisions that you make, let your words about that person flow from there, or that group of people, whatever it is. So that's my challenge for you this week in our thought for the week. Remember, you are made in the image of God. You are incredibly valuable to him. And we need to view and treat everybody, regardless, exactly the same way. Have a fantastic week. See you soon.